I believe that most of the pyramids were structures from a much earlier epoch, and not all of them were originally pyramids. The structures were in ruins when they were found. A pharaoh would select a structure that they could restore, beautify, and reuse in praise of their gods, with an added benefit that they might find something very special along the way that belonged to the ancients, or better still, it might have some magic. Or to us, it might be technology or even medicine. But to the people finding it, the technology was magic to them, like rolls that could levitate stone, staffs that could part the waters or cause people to freeze in their steps, tools that could carve precise structures or cut out blocks, drill cores or cut precise shafts, etc. Statues that could enable the user to talk to the gods, creams that could cure ailments, and waters that could extend life, as well as giant boxes filled with the secrets of the ancients. And sadly, some technology was so old it was degrading and had become dangerous, but that didn't stop them searching for it. Myths abound of ancient technology, not just in Egypt, but all over the world. And for thousands of years, people have been desperate to find anything that they could from the earlier eras. The stories of the brother of Ramses the Great, who was Khayyam Waset, who I've spoken of before, is a prime example of researching and searching for technology and then restoring old sites and acting like an archaeologist. But of course, these stories are only myth. But are they? Why then is it that most of the precise artifacts and structures are the very oldest ones? Are all the precise artifacts from prehistory? Well, not necessarily, because there were a group of ancients who chose to live in the vicinity and act as a secret society who provided services to the pharaohs at that time in exchange for, let's say, payment. But payment that they wanted was not in wealth, but rather it was in exchange for the more dangerous items that the pharaohs had already discovered, or I should say the pharaoh's people had already discovered. There's plenty of evidence linking specific pharaohs to specific pyramids. But did they build them, or were they doing a restoration project? Prior to the Old Kingdom, the pyramid fields were terrifying. They scared the people. They were considered places of the gods and were even quite dangerous. There were many shafts a person could fall into. There was a lot of rubble, and they were dangerous items that could seriously damage a person who might find them. It was even taboo to speak of the pyramids, to even write about them, and that continued long after and into the Old Kingdom and onwards, because there was a magic associated with the pyramids that meant that you don't talk about them unless you want bad fortune to fall on you. Hence, even in the Old Kingdom, they didn't write about the pyramids. Even the records of the work on the Tura limestone casing stones, the transportation of those, etc., there is very little discussion of the actual pyramids. The name is given, but very little is said about them. If a pharaoh did restoration work on a pyramid, then that pharaoh gained favor with the gods, and it was considered acceptable for the pharaoh and the pharaoh's family to have tombs around such a structure, so that the people around the pharaoh could also benefit. Hence, necropolises were built up around a pyramid. pyramids didn't replace mastabas as tombs. Mastabas just started to appear around pyramids. Mastabas were always the preferred tomb of the Old Kingdom. Later on in the history, the Valley of the Kings also is very close to a structure which remarkably looks very pyramid-shaped. Whether we're talking about a natural structure or whether we're talking about a man-made pyramid, the tombs are in abundance around these structures. So once a pharaoh had undertaken a restoration project, the pyramid would be referred to in some particular way, like the glory of a particular pharaoh or the light of a particular pharaoh, so that it's showing that favor will be given to that pharaoh. And of course, those who are fortunate enough to be permitted to be buried alongside, they also will receive the glory or the light or the whatever that pharaoh has attained. Just look at how many mastabas and little tiny baby pyramids and tombs are located around the massive pyramids at Giza.